Hello student, today I am going to start the second chapter of our An Alien Handbook, Bringing Up Curry. This is a very interesting chapter. In this chapter, we will read the relation of a boy and elephant. Now, let us start the chapter. Curry the elephant. Curry is the name of an elephant, was 5 months old when he was given to me to take care of. Me is the narrator of the story. Curry was 5 months old when he came under the care of narrator. I was 9 years old and I could reach his back if I stood on tiptoe. The narrator was also a young boy of 9 years old. The narrator could reach Curry's back if he stood on his toes. He seems to remain that height for nearly 2 years. We grew together. Curry remains of the same height of the next 2 years. Both the narrator and the Curry grew together. It is probably why I never found out just how tall he was. That was the reason the narrator never found out the tallness of Curry. He lived in a pavilion. Curry lived in a pavilion under a thatched roof which rested on thick tree stumps so that it could not fall in when Curry bumped against the poles as he moved about. The pavilion was under a thatched roof with thick tree stumps. Stumps means poles of wood to prevent him from falling, because when Curry moved or bumped, it could not fall upon Curry. One of the first things Curry did was to save the life of a boy. Curry's first work was he saved the life of a boy. Curry did not eat much, but he nevertheless needed 40 pounds of twigs a day to chew and play with. Now the narrator is saying Curry did not eat much, but he wanted 40 pounds of twigs. Twigs means small, delicate branch of trees a day for what? To chew and play. Curry play and chew the soft branches of trees. Every day I used to take him to the river in the morning for his bath, and every morning Curry and the narrator used to go to the river for bath. He would to lie down on the sandbank while I rubbed him with the clean sand of the river for an hour. Now the narrator rubbed Curry for an hour and Curry used to lie down on sandbank. After that, he would lie in the water for a long time. On coming out, his skin would be shining like ebony. Ebony is the name of a tree, and he would squeal with pleasure. After that, Curry would spend a long time in the water, and when he would come out of it, he would be in a very happy state. I rubbed water down his back. Then I would take him by the ear, because that is the easiest way to lead an elephant. After rubbing Curry, the narrator would take him by the ear, because that was the easiest way to lead an elephant, and leave him on the edge of the jungle while I went into the forest to get some twigs for his dinner. Luscious means tasty. The narrator left Curry on the edge of the forest and he himself went inside the forest to bring twigs for Curry. One has to have a very sharp hatchet. Hatchet means small axe to cut down these twigs. It takes half an hour to sharpen the hatchet because if a twig is mutilated, an elephant will not touch it. The narrator sharpened the hatchet half an hour. The reason is that if the twigs were cut awkwardly, the elephant would not touch them. It was not an easy job to get twigs and saplings for Curry. I had to climb all kinds of trees to get the most delicate and tender twigs. The narrator climbed all kinds of trees to get soft and delicate twigs. As he was very fond of the young branches of the banyan tree, Curry liked the soft branches of banyan tree, which grows like a cathedral of leaves and branches. The banyan tree branches grow like a cathedral. Cathedral means church. I was gathering some one spring day in March. It was the time of spring, month of March, when the narrator was gathering some twigs for Curry, when I suddenly heard Curry calling to me in the distance. When the narrator heard Curry was calling him, as he was still very young, the call was more like that of a baby than an elephant. Here Curry was very young. Then his voice was just like a baby. I thought somebody was hurting him. When the narrator heard the voice of Curry, he thought somebody was hurting the Curry. So the narrator came down from his tree and ran very fast to the edge where he left the Curry. But he was not there. But narrator saw that Curry was not there. I looked all over, but I could not find him. The narrator searched for the Curry, but he couldn't find him. I went near the edge of the water and I saw a black something struggling above its surface. When the narrator reached near the water, he saw something black which was struggling in the water surface. Then it rose higher and it was the trunk of my elephant. When it rose high, the narrator identified that it was the trunk of his elephant. I thought he was drawing. Now the narrator thought the elephant was drawing. I was helpless because I could not jump into the water and save the 400 pounds of him, since he was much higher than I. The narrator was helpless. The reason of his helplessness was that Curry was 400 pounds heavy and narrator did not know how to swim. But I saw his back raise above the water, and the moment he caught my eyes, he began to trumpet and struggle up to the shore. When Curry saw the narrator, he started making noise and came to the shore. Then, still trumping, he pushed me into the water, and Curry was still making the noise and he pushed the narrator into the water, and as I fell into the stream. It means the writer or narrator fell into the river. I saw a boy lying flat on the bottom of the river. The narrator saw a boy was lying flat on the surface of the river. He had not altogether touched bottom but was somewhat afloat. The boy was not totally on the bottom but little bit above the bottom. I came to the surface to the water to take my breath, and there Curry was standing. And the narrator, when came out from the water to take breath, the elephant Curry was standing there, his feet planted in the sandbank and his trunk stretched out like a hand waiting for mine. And the elephant was waiting for the narrator, and his trunk was stretched like a hand. I dived down again and pulled the body of the drowning boy to the surface. But not being a good swimmer, I could not swim ashore, and the slow current was already dragging me down. The writer was not a good swimmer, so the current of the river was dragging him. Seeing us drift by in the current, Curry, who was usually slow and ponderous, suddenly darted down like a hawk and came halfway into the water, where I saw him stretch out his trunk again. Now the narrator is saying the Curry was very slow and ponderous. Ponderous means lazy. But when he saw narrator was drifting in the current, he moved like a hawk. Hawk is a bird, and came halfway in the water and stretched his trunk to catch the narrator. I raised up my hand to catch it, and it slipped. The narrator tried to catch the trunk of the Curry, but he failed. I found myself going under the water again. Now the narrator again went inside the water. This time I found that the water was not very deep. So I sank to the bottom of the river and doubled my feet under me, and then suddenly kicked the river bed and so shot upward like an arrow. Now narrator feel that water was not deep, and he quickly came out from the water like an arrow, in spite of the fact that I was holding the drowning boy with my hand, and the narrator also holding the drowning boy in his hand. In spite of that, the narrator came out like an arrow. As my body rose above the water, I felt a lasso around my neck. When the narrator came out from the water, he felt a rope-like structure around his neck. This frightened me. I thought some water animal was going to swallow me. The narrator thought that some water animal was around his neck and he was going to eat him. I heard Curry squeezing, and I knew it was his trunk about my neck. After that, narrator heard the voice of Curry, and he recognized the trunk of Curry. He pulled us both ashore. It was Curry who pulled the narrator and the boy from the river and saved the life of the boy and the narrator. Curry was like a baby. The narrator is comparing Curry with a baby. He had to be trained to be good, and if you did not tell him when he was naughty, and it is important to train an elephant. If he was naughty. He was up to more mischief than ever. For instance, one day somebody gave him some bananas to eat. Now, the narrator is telling us an incident. One day, someone gave Curry some bananas to eat. Very soon, he developed a great love for ripe bananas. Now, Curry started to love bananas. We used to keep large plates of fruits on a table near a window in the dining room. Narrator's parents kept a large plate of fruits near a window in dining room. One day all the bananas on that table disappeared, and my family blamed the servants for eating all the fruits in the house. One day all the bananas disappeared from the table, and narrator's family blamed the servants for eating all the fruits in the house. A few days later, the fruit disappeared again, and after some days, again the fruits disappeared. This time, the blame was put on me, and this time, blame was put on the narrator. And I knew I had not done it, and the narrator knew that he had not done it. It made me very angry with my parents and the servants, for I was sure they had taken all the fruits. And the narrator was very angry on his parents and servant because he thought his parents or the servant had taken all the fruits. The next time the fruit disappeared, I found a banana all smashed up in Curry's pavilion. The narrator noticed when next time the fruit disappeared, he found a smashed banana on Curry's pavilion. This surprised me very much, for I had never seen fruit there. The narrator was very surprised because he had never seen any fruit there. As you know, he had always lived on twigs. As narrator earlier told us that Curry liked twigs. Next day, while I was sitting in the dining room, wondering whether I should take some fruit from the table, and next day the narrator was sitting in dining room and he was thinking for taking the fruits. Children, we will understand the next part in our next video.